Hi Professor, we are Jorge Poveda, Pablo Duque, and Luis Alvarez. First of all, we predict that the next literary era will be called Artificialism Era, mainly because of the advancements of technology and the influences it has had in every aspect of our life. Now we have four characteristics, which are virtual reality, immersive and interactive narrative, new forms of storytelling, and diversity and inclusion. Well, by all these characteristics, we mean that with the ongoing advancement of technology, the next literary era might incorporate digital mediums and interactive elements. Augmented reality, virtual reality, or interactive narratives could provide readers with immersive and participatory experiences, merging literature with emerging technologies. Also, this could witness a surge in experimental forms of storytelling. Writers may push the boundaries of traditional narrative structures, playing with unconventional techniques such as fragmented narratives, non-linear storytelling, and unconventional perspectives. This experimentation could result in fresh and innovative approaches to storytelling. In addition, increasing emphasis on diversity and inclusivity in society could also be reflected in the next literary era. There could be a greater representation of marginalized voices and perspectives, allowing for a more inclusive literary landscape. This might involve a broader range of cultural, ethnic, gender, and LGBTQ+ representation in characters, themes, and narratives. Finally, it also might embrace the complexities and intersections of human experiences. Writers could delve into multifaceted identities, exploring the intricate connection between various aspects of a person's life, such as race, gender, class, and sexuality. This exploration of intersectionality could result in nuanced and layered.
Well, now we continue with the themes. So we have three different ones. And the first one is virtual realities and shifting identities. So this theme focuses on the transformative impact of virtual classes and artificial intelligence on individual and collective identities. In this new era that we're creating, literature will explore how virtual environments shape human experiences and perception of self. It will dive into themes of augmented reality, also virtual identities, and the blurring boundaries between the physical virtual identities and the blurring boundaries between the physical and digital realms. And literary works may explore psychological, philosophical, and sociocultural implications of navigating and constructing identities in a technologically mediated world. We have the second thing, and it says ethical and the human-machine relationship. So you know that the development of new technologies raises ethical questions about the relationship between humans and machines. For example, literature in this era will, delve into complex moral dilemmas surrounding artificial intelligence, also automation, and finally human augmentation. And it will explore themes of machine consciousness, algorithmic biases, privacy concerns, and the potential loss of human agency. And well, you know that, for example, these literary works will reflect on the societal, cultural, and philosophical aspects of our relationship with technology, and in that way provoking that, for example, readers to critically examine the impact of these advancements on humanity in general. Now we have finally, as you can see in the slide, we have the last theme, and it is called the global digital network and cultural change. The era of virtual classes and interconnectedness has led to a global digital network that facilitates cultural change and, for example, collaboration. Literature in this era will explore themes of globalization, cross-cultural connections, and also the preservation of cultural heritage in the digital age. It will examine how technology enables diverse voices and narratives to reach a global audience, fostering, for example, intercultural dialogue and understanding in general. Uh, these literary works, we reflect on the implication of a digital connected world, celebrating diversity, and also, for example, examining the challenges of cultural homogenization. Well, so
We have historical events. So we split our era into four categories. In that case, we have pandemics, artificial intelligence, software with emotions, and lastly, pollution. So in that case, we start with pandemics. It's well known that thanks to COVID-19, people were obligated to be locked down and isolated. As a consequence of this disease, that many people have died at that age, around 2019-2020. So in that case, people were obligated to create new websites and platforms to keep doing their daily duties. Nevertheless, they totally ignore that these platforms will replace the face-to-face meetings and too many things that we're doing on paper or too many things physically of artificial intelligence. It is basically a platform or a website that you can create or you can log in your profile to create literature works. So in that case, you just need to provide an instruction and then the machine will create it effortlessly. It just takes a few seconds to create a literature work or at least something new, for example, books, essays, and so forth. It doesn't to be literature works or other devices. In this case, it's only written, and some CEOs as Elon Musk with Tesla will say something that this artificial intelligence will be risky for humanity or for human beings as a consequence that it will replace our jobs because it just take a few seconds, a few minutes to create something. So for engineers, teachers, doctors, and so on, it will be a huge headache to our personal jobs. As a consequence, as I said before, it will be replacing the traditional or at least the most important roles in society. Finally, we have software with emotions. This is the new step from artificial intelligence. As a consequence that this new platform will create some feelings and emotions from literature and literary works. So in this case, humans have been too lazy to create something new, something fresh. So this data collection and this basis will take part of it and extract the emotions from the poems and so other works. So this is a dangerous path, as Elon Musk, CEO from Tesla, has said, because it will create an independent brain or at least an independent will to create something new and replace us completely as a consequence that we as a human beings are not worth it anymore, and then the machines will keep doing the things by themselves. Last but not least, we have pollution. Pollution is a controversial issue nowadays, even though in a near future it will be worse. As a result, that some engineers will create some battery softwares and undoubtedly hardwares with lithium. Lithium is an strange mineral here on Earth. Therefore, they are going to look for it in virgin lands, rivers, and oceans. They need to dig out into a huge mine to extract just a little bit of lithium. This is to say that some governments will utilize some extractors of this raw to create these hardwares and softwares just to destroy us in a near future.